All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Tonight we're going to talk about YouTube TV. We'll talk about the Roku. The Roku plugs in just like your set-top box did. So you've got a cord that plugs into your set-top box. You'll plug that same cord. The technician will plug that same cord into your Roku, and this is what it's going to look like when it boots up. You're just going to have tons of different options. Your Netflix, Prime, Hulu, all of those. So, I mean, when it boots, the very first thing you'll see is what you see right here on the screen. So you just navigate with and again, it's hard to see, but we can talk about it afterwards. It's just 4 arrows. You're going to pick what you want. And in this case, we're going to pick YouTube TV. Then we hit OK. Now, this will load a lot faster at your house than it does here. Our security protocols are not super excited about what I'm doing here. But it's going to load, and it's going to say home. The first time you load up, it's going to be pretty generic. It's going to have some things, but at the end, it's going to learn from you and what you like. It's going to show you what things you might be interested in. This is a relatively new account, so it's kind of a smattering. Looks like Fox News, maybe The Office. Of course, the college football game tonight. That's always going to be a thing. So if you find something you like, you can just highlight over to it and click it. And it's going to load. Again, our security protocols aren't super excited, but there it is. Now, one of the other things you guys really hammer us on is the fear of not having a guide like you're used to. There's your guide. It's just exactly what you're used to. You can cycle over, you can cycle back. CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, your locals are there. And if you see something you want to watch, the 13 news at 6 o'clock. Again, it's at your home. It'll be almost instantaneous. But there it is. You need to go to the restroom. Just press pause like you used to. Ready to play again? Press it again. It's exactly like you're used to. I've been doing this since 2016. I have suffered when things weren't great. I've been through pretty much all the streaming services. I settled on a YouTube TV a couple years ago, and I've not looked back. If you want to see, if you want to see what's coming up next or what's on, and you want to quickly cycle through, it's just you're just scrolling through like a guide. It's exactly what you're used to having. Again, like I said, if you want to pause, you just pause it. Just press the OK button. When you're ready to go again, go again. If you want to back up, just left arrow. Now, it's only going to go back so far because I haven't been watching this station for very long. Again, just like you're used to. But if I do this and I say, let me find something. Young Sheldon. If I go out here and I say, hey, it's 6:30, I want to watch that show, click. It's going to tell you about it. It's going to say what channel it's on, what time it comes on, the episode or the season and the episode and the name of it. If that's something you're interested in, all you have to do is hit add to library and it'll record it from here on out. It'll record as many as you want. There's no space limitations. It's all what they call in the cloud, meaning it's going to be there for you to watch for as long as you want. Additionally, I'm sorry. Yes, I can. That should not have been that hard of a question. There you go. I'm sorry about that. There you go. No more questions. Oh. Man, you've really messed me up. I'm pretty much a tech guy, too. I've been here 18 years. Whoever asked that question, I heard you. Been here 18 years.
Got to get the hardware
Yeah. There's a reason why they don't let me log into things anymore. So this is your fault. What can I do for you while we're waiting here? Let's kill time. Work with me. Mm-hmm.
What did you use to do that?
There's really, once you get this going, there's only about a couple buttons that you use. And I'll show you, it's the OK button or the up, down, left, or right button.
So you went back to the menu with the left or right button?
What's that?
You went back to the menu with one of the...
Yes. I mean, again, this remote is a lot simpler than the remote you have now, I promise. Well, I've really done a number here.
You did.
There's a whole lot of questions.
Well, that is.
Sorry. How many shows did you record at the same time on local?
Well, there's 4 or 5 locals. You can record them all at the same time. I will tell you, I have YouTube TV. The question was, and I apologize, the question was how many channels can you record at one time? I've had YouTube TV, like I said, for about 3 years. I've never run into a limit where it tells me I can't. What it's going to do, so what you do, let's say there's a show, we'll say Young Sheldon. That's a show that's got repeats and new shows as well. It's going to record them all, and then you can pick which ones you want to watch. You can also, had I not messed this up, and when it comes back, you're going to see, it's going to say browse episodes. It's going to show you video on demand episodes that it already knows. So before you even record it, it's going to show you. All right, touch nothing else. This was all your fault. See where it says browse episodes? I'm going to hit that, and it's going to show you all the ones I can watch on demand. They're already all there. And you'll see, and I tried to dim the lights because I knew this would be hard, but you can see at the top, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. It's going to let you pick what you want to watch. So I can see I guess I don't know how many episodes, I don't know how many seasons Young Sheldon's been on, but this is just an example. It's going to show you as many episodes as it has, and you can watch them as you see fit on demand. So if you say, so I said added to library, okay? See where it's checkboxed right there at the top? I'm about to two-fist this. This won't go well. Right here, added to library. That means it knows I want to watch it, and it's going to quote-unquote record it for me. It's going to be in the cloud. There's nothing on your box. It's just. So, for example, to kind of give you a perspective, if you go home and you record Young Sheldon, and you take your Roku to Florida with you, and you plug it in, and you have YouTube TV, those shows will be there for you. Now, the caveat is, and I get this question a lot, and it's absolutely true. If you're recording it and you're watching Channel 13 News, WTHR here, and you go to Florida, you will not get WTHR down there. You're going to get whatever local channel or NBC is down there. Does that make sense? But you can also hit scheduled, and it's going to tell you the ones that are coming up. And next week, it'll tell you the ones that are coming up next week. It's very, very, very intuitive. One thing you can do, which I have never done, you can get if you so desire, you can get a mobile reminder of when that show is going to come on, and it'll send a message to your phone. You can watch anything you've recorded on your Roku, on your phone, on your iPad, wherever you want. You do not have to have the Roku. So, for example, if I recorded. Well, I'll give you an example. Tonight, I will record the Alabama-Georgia game. If Alabama wins, my wife and I will watch that game probably again because she's big Roll Tide. If they lose, we'll delete it and never talk about it again. But I'll watch it on my phone while I'm waiting on her to do whatever she's doing, or you can watch it on many different devices, and as long as you have it recorded, it's there. But you can also watch live TV on your phone, on your iPad, whatever that may be. So at the end of the day, it's just a very easy service to use. I'm talking about YouTube TV here, but all of the services that we're going to show you over the next couple sessions have the same features. It's just what suits you and what channels they have that you want is really the only difference. I will tell you, YouTube TV and Hulu are roughly the same price. DirecTV Stream is high. It gives you many more package options, and it can get to be just as much or more than regular cable. YouTube TV is by far the most popular streaming platform right now. It's backed by Google. Some people think that's a good thing. Some people think that's a bad thing. I personally think it's a good thing. But you can see, I mean, it's just channel after channel. The big channels that you're expecting, TBS, TNT, ESPN, ESPN2, and they're consistently adding more channels as they go. Sometimes they lose a couple channels. Is anybody signed up for YouTube TV right now? Okay. If you've been signed up for very long, you probably got an email that said we're fighting with Disney. You're going to lose a couple channels. You did for a day and a half, but they took $15 off your bill to compensate it. So as of right now, just like everybody else does, losing channels because of contract disputes is not something new. But they have the wherewithal and the size to fight that battle where we couldn't. Now, I will say we've never lost a channel because of a contract dispute as of yet. But quickly, they said, here's $15 off your bill, and I think it was day and a half. I think it was by Sunday afternoon. Maybe it left on a Friday, and on Sunday afternoon, it was back. But that could happen again. But at the end of the day, they're going to have a very big, for those of you who are interested in the Olympics, they're going to have a very big Olympic play. But it comes down to channels. But my point is, you're seeing a guide. And I know that's always a big concern as the guide. How can I see what I want to watch? But you can, whatever the Fairly Odd Parents are, we can go all the way out as far as you want to go. I think it's 36 hours. And pick what you want. So if you're a big SpongeBob guy, you can add it to library, and that's going to record it. If you want to browse the episodes that are available for SpongeBob, we'll pick his Road to Christmas, and that's VOD. It's going to pick it up, and we're going to play it, and it's going to be amazing. So right now it's in a commercial type setup, but that's it. Same thing. Pause it, play it. Go ahead.
Instead of scrolling through all the channels in the guide and a lot of channels you may never watch, can you customize
You can.
what you want on?
Quit stealing my thunder, but okay.
Oh.
I'm going to show you in just a second. What was your question?
I was going to say, do you have to go through the guide to get the channel?
No.
Or you just put in-
So what you can do, So as you start to watch things and you start to, it starts to learn what you like, when you go to home, this is going to start to populate more and more and more. And if you scroll down, you can say, here's shows in 4K, movies, sports, news, family, and it's going to start to learn what you like. And more things that it expects you to want to see are going to be populated here. But to your question, you can make your own. So right now it's default. You can make a custom, your most watched. Now, we just hooked this account up, so it's not going to have much of a most watched. But again, as it starts to learn what you like, it's going to put things where you're at.
So does it work on the names of the channels, or does like Paw Patrol comes on at 8 on channel 100? Do you use numbers, or do you use
It's names. There's no names. It's in alphabetical order. So it's based on names. But then it's going to, like I said, if I watch, at my house, my popular channels are probably Fox, ESPN, ESPN2, and probably FS1, Fox Sports 1. So it's going to put those in my most watched, so I can go right to them.
that like
Yeah.
Hallmark 63?
And you can say A to Z, Z to A, most watched, or you can get custom. And then you can make, if you watch 20 channels but the other 65 you don't, put your top 20 at the very top. Then you get right to them. And again, let's just say everybody in this room decides tonight to sign up to get converted. and we send our INR techs and installers out to your home. When they leave, and you've chosen YouTube TV, when they leave, you will have this setup. You'll have the guide. You'll be able to work with it. And just because you get converted, you can still come back to these meetings, these sessions, and learn and ask questions. Once you've had it for a couple weeks, you may have questions that you didn't have when you first got it. Come back. But that.
Another quick, this work strictly on the Wi-Fi?
What's that?
Does this work through the Wi-Fi?
It can, or it can be wired.
Well, the reason our one room center where we sit, we can't get the internet.
Okay.
The guys, they can't figure out why. We won't make it. And it's close, but it won't. So they said we'd have to run a whole nother wire to use the internet in that room. So would I have to have that done too for this?
You'd want to have, so this works off of your internet.
Right.
So you'd want to have a solid internet signal in whatever
So I'd
room.
have to
Yeah.
have them come out
Yep.
and do something special, that one that you told me about.
Yes.
Do you currently have any set-top box in that room? Okay, then probably might not
Oh.
have to. They'll be able to use that wireless right there.
Good call.
They just told me, well, you can't get the internet in there at all.
Well, if they already have that wireless in there,
They have it for the box, but you can't get internet.
Well, what he's saying is, good catch. What he's saying is when they take your set-top box out and put a Roku in there,
Right,
they'll connect it that way.
okay,
So when they say you can't get internet, you can't get Wi-Fi. You can get wired internet.
okay.
So wherever, I promise you, they'll take your set-top box out, put a Roku in, plug it in, and you're set.
Okay, because they were saying I was gonna have to pay this big expense to
Nope.
put that wire in
Nope.
and. Yeah, okay.
What do you do if you already have like a Google TV, the thing that you like, instead of a Roku?
A Google TV?
We already have it, so like, are they gonna take that out and put the Roku in?
They don't have to. So if you have a set-top box that we've either rented to you or however, that's what they'll replace with Roku. If you have a Google TV, you can download the app right now. The question was, by the way, congratulations. Not many people have Google TVs. Good for you. Good for you. You can just download the app. I mean, Google TV, YouTube TV is owned by Google, so it'll just download straight on there. So I wanted to point out something else. One thing somebody generally asks is, well, what if you don't have some station? And I'm not a huge TV watcher other than sports, but there are things that maybe channels. I'm trying to think of a channel that's not on YouTube TV.
HGTV, DIY.
Are those not on YouTube TV?
I didn't see it on this thing here. It is?
It's there somewhere, I'm guessing. Somebody said it was there.
So you have to go through.
There's HGTV. But let's just say it wasn't. Let's just take, for example, it wasn't. With this device, you're not locked into one thing. So you'll see this is what comes by default. But all you've got to do is go to featured free, and there's a ton of free stuff. But if there's one you want, and we'll say HGTV is your choice. There's all those shows right there, and you just download. So what we'll do is we'll say whatever that is. So then we'll go to that. It's going to install the channel.
And there's no extra charge for that?
Most are free. There are some that will charge a monthly fee of maybe $1.99. But it's up to you, and there is not a one that has a contract. So what a lot of people do, it's the Game of Thrones scenario. You wait till the entire season is there. You buy HBO for a month, binge watch them all, cancel it.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, well, that makes sense. And I didn't mean those necessary channels. I noticed that there's channels on there that we get on our current contract that are not available on any of those three that
Sure.
show here. Okay.
So I just added HGTV Go and downloaded it, and now here it is.
Okay.
So now You can watch main bedroom suite highlights if that's your thing. But at the end of the day, you'll note there it is.
Okay.
So and if you go to featured free, like I said, there are a million apps and shows and things like that that
Wow. Thank you.
yes, sir.
You can search by date and time as well as the name of the program, but can we search for content yet, like you would with a Google search on your internet?
Yep. So the question was, can I search for
Show me things with green cows, something like that.
That's not where I thought we were going, but we'll see what happens here. So you just go over to search. So action movies is the example they give. But let's say, I so hope I don't regret this. Oh. Green Bay Packers and Green Book are our options.
Alexis, it's green cow.
So, you know, you're starting to see. Now you can also, let's see.
It's in their title or their description,
Yeah.
it would pick it up.
So I searched Kevin, and I was going to go for Kevin Costner. It's already found him in Yellowstone. And I don't even want to know what's going on. Kevin Hart's Muscle Car Cruise. So it starts to, it finds things by name or by actor.
So then would you hit Yellowstone and then put it under your library to keep it?
You'd click on it, and then it's going to show you, right now it has seasons 3 and 4. But yes, then you just hit add to library. I'm going to ask you all a loaded question before you leave here, and we're going to see how well I've done.
So what's the cost per month? I mean, what's the,
It depends on what you want, but the base package, which is what I have, I think right now it's $64.99 a month. Now, you can go up here. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. Again, this will be much faster at your home. But you can go over here, and there's add-ons if you so choose them. HBO Max, Sports Plus, Showtime, any of those ones, those add-on things like you have with our service are there. But the base package, I believe, is $64.99 a month. And the other thing to keep in mind is that allows you 6 accounts. So if you've got your kids with you and you've got, let's say you've got you two, maybe a husband and wife and 3 children, that's 5 profiles. You can log in as one of those profiles and it'll keep your preferences. But it also allows you to watch 3 times at once. So meaning somebody could be at home watching it, someone could be looking at they're on their iPhone and someone on their iPad all at the same time for one fee. I don't think I have anything in my library. Yeah, there's nothing, since it's a new account, it doesn't know that I don't have anything in most watched. But, yes, sir. Yes. It's just like a set-top box in that way. Now, a lot of you may have TVs that have a smart TV that has YouTube TV built in, or Hulu, or any of these things. But the Roku is an option, or an Apple TV. There's a million different streaming devices. We have chosen Roku for simplicity. I don't know if anybody's ever used the older style Apple TV remote, but it's got the trackpad on top and it's awful.
So if our TV has access to YouTube and Hulu and all that, we don't need the Roku?
You don't. Now, but keep in mind, YouTube and YouTube TV are 2 different things. So older TVs will have access to YouTube. They may or may not have access to YouTube TV. They probably do. But if you'll notice, even on here on this Roku, there's YouTube as one app. There's YouTube TV as a separate one. They are separate apps.
okay, Best Buy or
Not a thing.
there, it's,
We're giving you a Roku as a courtesy and it's to try and help you with streaming. You can certainly go out and buy all the Rokus you want, or you can use the ones that we'll give you. Now, I will tell you, if you so choose to buy your own, there are probably 12 or 13 different Roku models. There's the low end, don't do that. And then there's the very high end, which you're welcome to. What we have found, if you get too low end of a Roku, or any streaming device, but we'll say Roku, it cannot handle the streaming and things like that, and the picture's not great. And then you start to think there's other issues, but it's actually a device.
so then how do you know what, internet password?
Well, here's the beauty of that, and it's not a sales pitch. When you disconnect video, if you will re-sign up for your internet package for 2 years, we'll give you a gig for whatever you're paying now. Correct, Darren?
If you choose at least the 150, 150.
Yes. So if you'll choose 150, 150, we'll give you a gig for 2 years if you sign up for internet, stay with us for internet for 2 years.
So, but how do you know what you need?
Well, the question is how do you know how much internet you need? How many TVs do you have in your home?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, look at you. How many? Oh, I've got so many.
I do, actually. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So you've got 5 TVs.
Yes.
You can count on, if it's 4K, right now it's about 25 megs per stream, if they were all at the same time.
Okay.
But a traditional high def is around 15 to 18. So simple math. What did I say? 15? Let's say 15. 5 TVs all at the same time, that's 75 megs, somewhere between 75 to 80 megs. That's only in TV. Now, if somebody else is on their iPad or doing schoolwork or work, whatever it is, that's on top of that. And TV will show you loss of bandwidth more than anything else.
So you get the Roku and they go bad, one goes bad,
Mm-hmm.
we have to buy the rest of them.
So let's say you have 3 set-top boxes in your home.
Right.
We will give you 3 Rokus.
And if one
But they're yours. So yes, if something goes wrong, you'd have to go out and replace it yourself.
buy one, then
And they're easily gotten. Now again, we've chosen to use Roku because of the simplicity of the remote. Apple TVs, Amazon Fire Sticks, Google devices. I mean, if you look at what YouTube TV will stream on, and again, because we're talking about YouTube TV tonight, so I'm using it, there's probably 30 devices it'll stream on. Questions? Yes?
Will there be music channels available on this? It was waiting on this earlier.
Let's find out. I can't imagine there isn't, but we'll find out. Music Zone or Murder, She Wrote. Wow. Are you interested in the newest hip hop? By oldies, you mean 90s? Yes, but you can see, the point is yes. There's all sorts of Amazon Music, Sirius XM, Tidal. But if you go up here, you can see classic rock. There's a million of them. Apparently pop and EDM.
You've got Sirius.
Yeah.
Come down one and you could, stream that.
Spotify's, there's free accounts with Spotify. There's really not, Pandora's always free. But yeah, there's all sorts. And yeah, I have Sirius XM at home, or in my car. So I would just log in with my credentials and then I would have, presumably, all the channels I could choose from. But yes, clearly there's a million different music options.
So this is just through the Roku, not the YouTube TV?
This is just on the Roku. Yeah, this is apart and separate. So, and thank you for bringing that up. The Roku is just the conduit to get you to a million different channels. And when I keep saying channels, Roku calls each one of these icons a channel. So like I said, if I wanted to go to Well, here's a perfect example. To go to the Hallmark channel, again, the Hallmark channel, just click on it. It's going to pull this up. And there's a million things that are just free already built in. Some kind of Hallmark movie, but I really hope I don't get burned on one of these. So there's just all these channels that are the Lego. It's just all these different channels that you've got options to look at. And I've not been through all the channels. There's 60-some thousand channels to go through. A lot of them are, I would say probably most are free. In fact, I think I can prove that theory. Like there's top free movies and TV. You can go by genre if you want news and weather, sports, comedy. I mean, there's just all sorts of different faith-based. There's all sorts of different things that you can buy or watch for free. And really, it's just, I know Discovery Plus is a big one. Peacock is a big one. It really is just a matter of sitting down and going through it and finding what you like. I will tell you, what I have heard is that people install all of these channels. They go out and they download all the channels or apps, and just like your TV at home, they use 2 of them. But that's going to be kind of it. But there's just so many to choose from that you can find. TLC, I think somebody was talking about TLC. CNN, there's Fox, it's whatever you can think of, it's there. Oh, you wanted music, there's MTV for you. So, I mean, it's really going to be, if it were me, I would get YouTube TV going, get comfortable with that, and then just go out and explore. They're not going to trick you into buying something. It's very clear when you need to buy something and what it's going to cost. And with every one of these, YouTube TV included, if you go out and sign up, I think right now they give you a week for free. Used to be a month, I think it's a week now. But let's just say you've had it for 2 months and the latest, greatest comes out and there's something better. There's no contract, just cancel it and move to the next thing if that's what you want to do. There's no contract to lock you in, you're not committing to anything, it's just working through and figuring out what works best for you. In
3 years you had YouTube TV, how many price increases have there been?
I think one.
How many channels are there on that?
I think 85 right now,
85?
of which I watch 5, 6.
Can you know the NFL and college sports on those channels?
Yeah, so what you've got Fox Sports 1, I think it's Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, the ESPN suite, the SEC channel. I don't know, who's your team?
LSU, I like to watch those games.
LSU? Roll Tide. SEC channel's on there, so that you would have that. I think the Big Ten network's on there for those who are Big Ten fans. Let's see, there's SEC, ACC, ESPNU, ESPNU's, Fox Sports 1 and 2, Sports Chicago and Sports Chicago Plus, MLB. There's Big Ten, I knew it was on there.
That's wrestling.
It is wrestling.
Yeah.
It's golf. Like I said, the Olympic channel will be a big thing when it kicks off for the Olympics that were a little while ago. I couldn't tell. My wife just clicked record them all, and I don't know how many. There's no way she was going to watch them all, but it was just page after page after page of recorded Olympics. And there's no limit. I mean, there's no cap on how much it is. It's unlimited, like what they call unlimited cloud storage. And I think my wife put it to the test. So to answer your question in all seriousness, you're an LSU fan, so you're part of the SEC. They have the SEC channel. They have all the ESPNs, the Fox Sports 1 and 2. Am I missing a sports channel? Okay. We're big sports in our house. I'm Miami Hurricanes. She's Alabama Crimson Tide, so we've been through them all. Yes, sir.
Right now, I'm missing NBC News. But we could record it, right?
Oh, you mean you're missing it because you're here?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's live.
Yep.
It's,
Yeah, all you would do,
we could record it when I get home, I can look at it.
yep. So all you would do,
Now then,
okay,
can I see last night's news?
if you,
Have they stored that, or would I have to do that myself?
let's find out.
It's like whether NBC has archived everything.
Let's find out here. Well, it looks like January 9th, they have it. January 8th, looks like they've got the last 2 nights.
Alrighty.
And then you can see, and it's hard to show you guys, but you can see they're showing you upcoming for the next, well, it went away, but 10th, it was showing you the next week of them that they were coming up. But if you add that to your library, it's going to automatically record it for you now.
So if I was on vacation or something and wanted to come home and see the local news, they would have that?
As long as you told it to record it. Now, you couldn't be gone. So if you didn't add it to your library, like I showed you, there would be, looks like a couple days. But if you added it to your library, it's going to record them indefinitely. Again, and all you do, view more info, add to library, and there it is. It says right there, it's added to your library. We'll record upcoming episodes as they become available. And then if you decide that NBC News is not your jam and you want to go to ABC, you just can click it and take it right back out of your library.
So how do you play once you've recorded?
Oh. So when you open up YouTube TV, it's going to go to home. It's going to start to show you things that it thinks you want, and your recordings will show up there. But regardless, the manual way is just to go to library, new in your library, and there's that young Sheldon we picked. Then you can also get down to most watched. There's not a lot yet. Scheduled, so you know that apparently Dr. Phil's going to be recorded, and young Sheldon. Then you can start to even get into shows, movies, sports, events, and anything you've bought, if you've bought a movie or anything like that, which we have not. Again, this is a new account. If I logged in as myself, it would look a lot different because they've had it for, like I said, 3 years. Any other questions?
Okay, I got another one. Okay, I've got bundled services at home now.
Okay.
So, once I make the switch to this, what happens to the cost of my landline phone?
That is a question I cannot answer for you. But what I can do is right back here, and I neglected to say at the beginning, right back here we have some people that will take your name and information and answer those and reach out to you the next day or 2 to go through those types of questions.
Question, if you subscribe to the YouTube TV package, does it get rid of the 15, 20-second commercials on the other YouTube channel?
It does not. You do not get YouTube Premium if you do YouTube TV. That would be nice.
So how is this YouTube billed? Is it a separate bill from,
They would just charge your credit card monthly.
us going a credit card monthly?
It becomes, and that's a great point. The question was, how is it billed? And I neglected to bring that up. That it becomes a relationship between you and YouTube TV, just like Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything like that.
So when we sign up for the YouTube, we do it via this way and not through you?
Right. So I've either exhausted you or so what we're going to do is there's several of us that are going to stick around, reach out if you want to come up to us one-on-one. We're happy to walk through it with you or talk to you or answer any questions you have. If you, for like those building questions that you may have, Those people there in the back will be happy to take your name and number and reach out to you the next day or two to kind of go over your options and what things are going to look like. Unless you have any more questions, you're all. Oh, Darren has a question.
You want to talk about the email account they need for if we're going to come out and set this up for them? I think we've determined that YouTube requires a Gmail account.
It does. That's a good point. So you will need to get it. If you're going to choose to use YouTube TV, you will have to have a Gmail account, which is as easy as going to Gmail and saying you need an account. You don't have to use it for anything else other than signing up for YouTube TV. Thank you, Darren.
Does Hulu ask that too?
I'm sure Hulu just uses any account because they're not an email provider.
Can you still have your 9-star account email?
You can keep your 9. We're not taking that away. As long as you're an internet subscriber, you'll keep that either my 9-star or if you've been here a long time, you're hrtc.net. All right. Well, thank you. Man, side note, when I've been here almost 18 years, when we were going from HRTC to my 9-star, I did not know how many people were protective of that HRTC address. So. All right, so here's the loaded question. You guys feel more comfortable with streaming before you got here than before you got here? Don't shake your head no. I tell you, it's easy. The guide is, the guide's the big one in the locals, and you've seen how easy it is.
One more question. I put an antenna on my TV, just semi-local channels that could get
Mhm.
Indy. And you do the search on the TV, pick up like 200 channels.
Yeah.
We're getting like Bloomberg and Yahoo Finance. Where are these channels coming from?
They're generally sub-channels off of, so we're like a Channel 13.
All free.
Yeah, they are. So Channel 13, WTHR, has their antenna. They're 13.0, 13. Then you have your .1, .2, .3.
1017.
Yeah. It's just different frequencies.
Channels of
Yeah, they are. So when 13, like for example, when 13 does maintenance on their antenna at 2 in the morning, when they take that antenna down, you would lose maybe 20 channels because they're broadcasting out those same channels with them. And for some people, and that's a good point, for some people, if recording and a guide and all that is not something that's super important to you, putting an antenna up, you'll get the local channels. You won't be able to record them, you won't be able to pause, and you won't get a guide, but it's also free.
Well, there is a guide
Oh, is there? Have they made an app for the guide?
on a Samsung or Vizio TV
You're right. Some of the TVs do have the guide built in, you're right.
for free.
So, and if that works for you, it's $0.
I'm just curious where they were coming from.
Yeah. WTHR, I think, is downtown. There's another one at 96th and I think Hague is a big antenna. Sure.
So if your internet goes out, you're not able to watch.
That's correct. It does. Question was, is if your internet goes out, does it affect YouTube TV or any streaming? And it does. It uses your internet.
So then we get mad at you.
You give, no.
Well, you're the responsible for the internet, right?
That is true. You can be mad at me. That's true. I'm delightful, so I don't know why you'd ever be mad at me.
Well, if the TV didn't work, my husband wouldn't be delightful.
All right. We'll stick around for as long as you need us to, but that's it. I think the next one is January 31st, but if you have not already signed up for it, I believe it is already booked. So jump on our website, get signed up for the ones you want. They'll tell you if they're booked, but they're every 2 to 3. I think the next one is in 3 weeks, but after that, they're every 2 weeks. And we're just going to cycle through. So next time will be Hulu Live. The one after that will be DirecTV Stream, and then we're just going to repeat. John Aaron in the back has filmed this. It's live streaming right now. So the internet at large has seen a lot of the back of your heads. But it is going to be up on our website. Check our Facebook page, but this whole presentation will be available to watch again as many times as you want in the next day or two to get processed and uploaded. But that's it, guys. Get out there and stream. It's not that bad. And I would really, in all honesty, when you're ready to do it, go do it and then come back. Use it for a week and come back and ask questions. Because when you're at home, it'll make a lot more sense to you, I promise. There's only a few buttons. You can't really mess it up. Have a good night.